I'm doing well, thank you.
Good.
Come on in.
Thank you. Beautiful day out there, isn't it?
It sure is.
Great.
Have a seat.
Well, you know what, Eric? If you don't mind, would it be okay if I gave myself a quick tour?
Sure. Did you want me to show you around?
You know, just relax. I'll only be a couple minutes.
Okay. Very good.
All right. And I'll be right back.
All right.
Okay. Wow, you have a beautiful home.
Well, thank you. We like it.
Great. Do you mind if we use the kitchen table so we can
No.
lay things out? Okay, great. Very good. Yeah, it's just been one of those crazy days, you know?
Yeah.
So, Eric, let's talk about getting you to Texas.
All right.
Okay. Now, the first thing I'd like to do is review your situation and what's important to you about making this move. Is that okay?
Okay.
All right. The other day we talked on the phone and I asked you some questions, so I just want to review those for a second.
Okay.
Okay. So you're moving to Texas because you have a job transfer.
Right.
And you need to be there no later than September. Is
Correct.
that correct? Great. And so we also talked about price, and you feel realistically we could sell your home for $425. That's what you said.
Yes.
Okay. And I asked if we sold your home in 30 days or less. You were pretty happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would be too, and I'm confident that we will. And also, if we didn't sell, let's say it doesn't sell, it's not an option, you said.
Right. I gotta get it sold.
Okay, great. Now, we talked about your price to be realistically listed at $425, right? Okay. Now, I review the market on a regular basis, so we'll make sure that we price your home in a way that causes it to sell.
Okay.
Right? Okay. And then you also said that the lowest price you would take is $415, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, exactly. And you owe $150,000 on your mortgage, and you don't care to sell it as a for sale by owner.
Correct.
All right, very good. All right, so Eric, I have 3 bottom line questions for you.
All right.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Number 1, are you definitely ready to sell your property?
Yes, we gotta get to Texas.
Okay. Number 2, will you price it to where it will sell, or are you okay with it just sitting on the market?
I'm not okay with it sitting on the market.
Okay, very good. And number 3, and most important, do you want me to get it sold for you?
Absolutely.
You do?
Yes.
Already you know that?
Well, yeah. Based on what we were talking about yesterday, you're the one to do it.
All right, well, let me go through some of this for you, and I wanted to give you a little more information than what we talked about the other day, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so Eric, the reason for this meeting is twofold, okay? Number 1 is for me to provide you with some very important information about what it's going to take to get your home sold for top dollar so we can get you to Texas by the end of September.
Okay.
Does that
I'm
sound
all
good?
about that.
Okay. And number 2 is for us to decide if the right thing for you is to partner with me in the sale of your home. Does that sound fair enough?
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And whether you decide to hire me or not, I hope it will become clear through this meeting that my commitment is to help you get what you want. Because if I can't help you, I'll tell you today.
Okay.
Because I'm not interested in just another listing. I'm very interested in getting you to Texas. Because that's what you want, right?
Absolutely.
Then we're
yes.
on the same page.
Yeah.
Great. So there's really one key item that we need to address today, and
Right.
that is to determine the right price to set on your home to cause it to sell, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Because obviously we don't want to put it on the market and have it not sell,
Right.
right?
Right.
Okay, absolutely. So here's what I'll do. As soon as you decide to hire me, I'm going to do everything it takes through my action plan to get your home exposed to all the qualified buyers on the market. Because that's the kind of exposure you want, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So the key today is to establish the right price to get all those qualified buyers excited about your home when they see it. Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
Awesome. Very good. So Eric, in preparing for our meeting today, I did a thorough marketing study, also called a competitive market analysis.
Okay.
Are you familiar with that?
No.
Okay. Well, there are 3 parts to the market analysis. And number 1 is the active listings, okay? They are your competition. And so when we talk about the active listings, where are they? Right here, the active listings. You know what I call these? I call these Dreamland.
Okay.
Do you know why I call them Dreamland?
Not realistic?
Because it's what people want to get for their homes, but we really don't know what they're actually going to sell for,
Okay.
right? Okay. The next one is expired listings. Do you know what those are?
I take it those are homes that didn't sell.
They are homes that didn't sell, absolutely right. They wanted to sell, but something went wrong.
Okay.
I call this Neverland. You know why?
No, why?
Because you never want to be there.
You got that right.
Great. We don't want to be there. And last are the solds. I call this reality.
Okay.
Okay? And that is because that's what the market is telling us the homes are going for in this market. Okay?
All
Are you
right.
with me?
Yeah.
Okay. So, we're going to focus on reality today, or the
Okay.
solds, because obviously, to get your home sold and get you to Texas by September, in which of these three categories do you want to end up?
Need to be here.
Need to be in reality, in the solds,
Yeah.
exactly. Very good. So, we're going to talk about the market analysis now. We just went through some of the things that it's talking about, but the market analysis, the purpose of it is to determine the value of your home. First, as a buyer will look at it, and then secondly, as an appraiser will look at it. And you can understand how that's important, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, well, let me explain it.
Okay.
First, as the appraiser, because that's who the lender is going to hire to determine the value of your home based on what competitors are actually selling for and what the buyers are actually paying now, right?
Okay.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, and then as a buyer, we'll look at it because we want to make sure that we price it in a way that makes it attractive to buyers. Okay? Because is a buyer only going to look at your house, or are they going to shop around and compare your house to others?
I would imagine that they're going to look at more than one home.
They're going to compare, right? So when a buyer goes to a house and they're comparing, what do you think they're comparing with your house and the other houses?
I guess the finishes,
Mm-hmm.
the amenities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's about all I can think of right off the top of my head. And
That's good. No, that's perfect. And so actually all those things, that's absolutely right. So there's features. So they're looking at quality, they're looking at condition, they're looking at location. And are they comparing price?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, they're comparing price, right?
Yeah.
So are you ready to take a look?
Sure.
Okay. Here we go. So these homes are pretty comparable to yours, all right? Here's your home over here. And so let's look at this first one, okay? How many bedrooms does it have?
It has 4,
4 bedrooms. How many baths?
3.5,
3.5. And how big is the garage?
3 stall,
3-stall garage. And what year was it built?
2004,
2004. And what's the square footage, approximately?
2,500.
2,500. All right. Now, have you seen this home at 2553 Atwater?
I'm familiar with
Okay.
where it's located. I've never been in the home myself. but
Okay.
yeah.
So, well, this home has a little more value than yours, Eric, and this is why. First of all, it has more square footage. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a little newer than your home by about 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's really about it. But that makes a difference. Okay. So, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what price did they sell it for?
So 425.
$425 exactly. And how many days was it on the market?
Wow, 4 days.
Only 4 days, right? So how's that going to work to get you to Texas if your home sold in 4 days?
Get me there sooner rather than later.
Okay. Yes, that would work, right?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Let's look at just one more. Okay. Again, this is on 2476 Candlewick, not too far away.
Right.
Okay. So how many bedrooms does it have?
One has 5.
It has 5 like yours.
Yeah.
How many baths?
And 3.5 bath.
Mm-hmm. And how big is the garage?
It's only a 2 stall.
That's only a 2-stall. What year was it built?
So 1998.
98, and what's the square footage?
About 1,600
About
square feet.
1,600, okay. This home is not as valuable as yours. Yours is more valuable, okay? Because of the square footage, yours is much bigger. You have a larger garage, plus you did all the remodeling. The kitchen looks fantastic, and so do the bedrooms, okay?
Thanks.
So yours has more value than that,
Okay.
okay? And what did it sell for?
So 415.
415, and how many days did it take to sell?
16 days.
16 days. Again, how's that going to be to get to Texas by the
Well,
end of September?
we'll still make it.
Still make it, okay? So, based on what the market is telling us, what we've just seen, what do you feel would get buyers excited to choose your home over the competition?
Well, other than it's better than this one,
Mm-hmm.
the troublesome spot's the one that's maybe a little bit better off than what mine is, and
Any
Not-
price?
not that
What price
there's-
would you say?
again, 420. Yeah, well, 420, I still come out more ahead than I would if on what I'd actually settle for.
Okay, all right. Well, after looking at your home and based on what the market is telling us, I'm going to suggest that we list your home for $420,000.
Okay.
And you can see why that's the right price.
Yeah,
You
it
hit the
makes
nail on the
sense.
head, right? Because that's the best price for your home in this market in the best time possible to get you to Texas by the end of September. Isn't that exciting?
It is.
Great.
But now with everything selling so quick, should it be higher?
Well, no, not necessarily. Because when we get to the next part, you're going to
Okay.
see that that's going to be a real good price. And I'll talk about that.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. All right. So we'll get your home on the market. So any questions, first of all, with that? Any questions with what we just discussed?
No, I mean, it seems fairly straightforward.
Okay. All right. Very good. So let's talk about the net sheet. Okay.
Okay.
Now, the net sheet gives you all the costs associated with selling a home and what you're actually going to walk away with after you close the home, after we sell the home. Okay?
Okay.
So you can you want to know about that, what
Sure.
price you're going to get, right?
Yeah.
So these are all standard closing fees and expenses for sellers.
Okay.
Any questions with that?
Well, we'll see.
Okay, all right. So based on a realistic price of $420,000 and a closing date of August 15, here are your estimated total net proceeds to you at closing. But before I show you that, these are some of the fixed closing fees that we have. Okay,
Mhm.
these are all the costs, and so that will equal this amount right here.
Okay.
And so that and then your mortgage, and then some of the summer taxes and the winter taxes. This is your net proceeds, estimated net proceeds at closing.
Okay.
Eric, is that a number you can live with?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. So we'll price your home at $420,000, which we agreed is the right price, right?
Right.
Okay, great. So, I don't know, I'm ready for you to put me to work. Are you ready for the next step?
I think so.
You ready for the next step?
Yeah.
Can I lay out what's going to happen next?
Please.
Okay, here are some highlights. First of all, we want to make sure that your home shows at its best, right? So what I do is bring in my professional stager, and what she'll do is go through the home with you and your wife, and she will look at your home through the eyes of a buyer, which is very important, okay? So she'll see some things on some shelves and on the counters, and she'll say, Eric, go ahead and pack those away, get them away, and they're already packed for the move. And then she'll put the other things that are available and make your home shine and look beautiful. Sound good?
Yeah.
Great. Next, I will be preparing the marketing for your home and launch my pre-marketing campaign, because you did want me to get your home exposed to the market as soon as possible, right?
Right.
Great. And then we're going to launch our 10-day marketing blitz. Sound exciting?
Yeah.
Great. You look excited. Your home will be marketed to all the potential buyers out there, including and promoted to all the real estate agents and their buyers through our multiple listing service. Plus, I have it syndicated to all the real estate websites that are out there, including the most most popular ones that buyers go to online. All
Okay.
right, and you can understand how important that online exposure is for you, right?
Sure.
Great, because you did want me to bring in the right exposure to bring in the best buyers for your home, right?
Right.
Awesome, because that's exactly what you're going to get with me.
Okay.
And assuming that the market responds as we expect, we're going to get a lot of buyers traffic.
Okay.
A lot of traffic going on. And so I will review all that traffic and get the best offers. And then we'll negotiate all those offers to ultimately get your home sold for top dollar and get you to Texas.
Great.
Are you ready for that?
I'm ready.
Are you ready to start packing?
Let's do it.
You ready to start packing already?
Yeah.
Well, maybe not quite yet, but
Okay.
soon, okay?
All right.
All right. So Eric, do you have any questions before you let me help you make this move happen and get you to Texas?
So how soon are we going to get started?
Well, are you ready?
I'm ready.
You ready to get started? Okay, great. Well, what I need you to do then, first of all, is I'd like you to initial right here on the CMA. Okay, and right here on the net sheet. Excellent, and I'll do the same. Okay, and then we'll finish the rest of the paperwork, and then I'll get to work.
All right.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right,